Police investigating death of cop's daughter. Senior police investigators processed the scene in Prospect St. Thomas, where the teenage daughter of a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force was allegedly chopped to death by a man believed to be of unsound mind on Wednesday afternoon. The teen, identified as Tana Sutherland, said to be about 14 years old, came into the island days ago for her summer vacation. During a search of the area, residents found Tanya lying in blood. She was rushed to hospital where she was pronounced dead. Owner shot dead at bar in Olympic Gardens. The St. Andrews South police are investigating the shooting death of a man at his bar in Olympic Gardens on Tuesday night. Dead is 50-year-old Anthony Morgan, otherwise called Muto, of Smith Lane in the area. Reports were that about 8 o'clock, Morgan was at his establishment when he was pounced upon by unknown assailants in a motor vehicle who shot him. He was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for Morgan's murder. Labour Ministry intervenes in dispute involving management and workers at Tip Friendly Society. The Labour Ministry has intervened in a dispute involving management and workers employed to Teachers Income Protector Tip Friendly Society. This after upset workers took industrial action for a second straight day to highlight their ghost about how the wage negotiation process is being handled by management. The University and Allied Workers Union, which represent the workers, pointed to concerns about how the management is handling the situation. Vice President Garfield Harvey explained that the parties met in May for talks and the management made what he called an unreasonable demand for the issues discussed to be put in writing or no further discussion would be held. Mr. Harvey said the union pointed out that the negotiation should continue, but the company reportedly refused to do so. He said the union wrote management last month regarding the resumption of negotiations, but there was no response. This led to the workers' decision to stay off the job. According to Mr. Harvey, management has not been negotiating in good faith. He said the union was contacted by the Labour Ministry and a meeting has been set for next Monday, July 7.
So the tip workers took industrial action starting yesterday. Yesterday they called in sick. This morning they reported to work, but then they walked off because they're protesting against company's behavior relative to the negotiation. The company has flatly refused since the 22nd of May to continue the negotiations. And in spite of the fact that we wrote to them on the 20th of June and asked them to provide us with a date for the resumption of the negotiations, in 5 working days, they did not even respond. So the workers are upset. They have decided to take industrial action supported by the union. In the last meeting, the union responded in full to proposals made by the company relative to offers. It responded in full. In fact, I spoke for over an hour. At the end of that hour, the company looked at us and said, okay, we heard you. Now please put all of what you just said in writing or we won't be resuming the negotiation. I'm just saying that's not how you negotiate. You don't negotiate like that. You don't have us sit there, respond to your proposal, you recorded the meeting, you took notes, and then you're going to demand that we must put everything we just said in right. No negotiations are conducted like that. And we don't intend to start doing so right now. They don't believe in negotiating in good faith. I should say that just this afternoon, the Ministry of Labour spoke to us to tell us that the company has reported a dispute and the parties are due to meet on Monday at 9 a.m. to speak about and hopefully resolve the matter. All interest at this point in time is not even to protest whatever offers have been made by the company. The parties have been negotiating and in negotiations the positions change. Our problem is we want to resume the negotiation and that is going to be our position. Whatever meeting takes place, that is going to be our position. We are willing to resume the negotiation. We're interested in doing that and we are waiting a date for the resumption of the negotiation. And that's all we're interested in at this point in time.
Security guard charged for a foreign licensed firearm during Portmore dispute remanded. A man who was charged with using his licensed gun to open fire at another during an altercation inside a car in Portmore, St. Catherine, was remanded in the parish court on Tuesday. The case against 20-year-old security guard Travis Palmer, who is charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition, has been transferred to the Guns Court for mention on July 21. Allegations are that on January 18, 2025, The complainant was inside a vehicle in Waterford, Portmore, when Palmer entered the vehicle and a struggle ensued. During the altercation, he reportedly bit the complainant, drew his license firearm, and opened fire. The car reportedly crashed during the incident. A report was made to the Portmore police and an investigation was launched. Palmer turned himself into the police on June 23rd and his Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol was confiscated. He was arrested and subsequently charged after being questioned in the presence of his legal representative. PNP Horton hasn't made report to political ombudsman. People's National Party standard-bearer for St. James, West Central, Dr. Andre Horton, says he has not approached the Office of the Political Ombudsman, OPO, for help even though he pointed to Monday's alleged vandalization of his campaign poster as proof that he's been targeted by the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP. No, I have not reported. I can't find the political ombudsman. Where are they? I don't know who they are, he told reporters Wednesday afternoon. Since February 2024, the OPO has been operational under the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ. According to its website, the ECJ has sought to streamline and improve the operations of the Office of the Political Ombudsman through the implementation of a dedicated unit within the Office of the ECJ. The unit is headed by the senior officer, the ECJ's Registrar of Political Parties. That person will be the chief liaison between the public and the ECJ members, who together constitute the political ombudsman. It also provides 3 options for submitting complaints via an online portal, by email, or via post or hand delivery. It reiterated this information in a media release on Wednesday, in which it also indicated that it is keeping an eye on the conduct of the political parties as they ramp up campaigning and has held talks with the general secretaries of the 2 main political parties regarding complaints made against their members. Since March this year, the political ombudsman has received 8 complaints from members of the political parties and advocacy groups, which are being actively and carefully investigated. Political players and members of the public are reminded that intimidation, inflammatory political speech, public disorder, defacement of political material, and conduct deemed contrary to the spirit of non-confrontational and peaceful campaigning are against the Code of Political Conduct, said a section of the release before it urged the public to submit complaints. However, Hahn is convinced that would yield no result. He said the matter of the defaced billboard is in the hands of his lawyer. He has turned to social media to voice his concerns about the damage done to his poster in Westgate, St. James. He has also made it clear he will not be deterred in his bid to unseat sitting Member of Parliament Marlene Malahou-Fort, JLP, who is also Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. In the last general election, Horton polled 4,415 to Malahou-Fort's 6,181, but according to him, he is now a more formidable foe, and that is why he is being targeted. They are intimidated as well about my chances to win the constituency. It's a sad feeling because you're the party in power and then you're targeting the opposition. It doesn't make any sense. It should be the opposition doing what they can to target the party in power. It appears as if I am the MP and they are the ones contesting for the seat, he declared. This is the second time Horton has reported that a post of his was vandalized. In March, he indicated that damage has been done to one of the bays of Long Hill. It's all about restricting the ability of the city to get good leadership. It is jargon styled, and they are employing, but people are wise. They are recognizing what is happening, he declared. Horton is fresh off another campaign sign, skirmish, with the St. James Municipal Corporation. He was one of the 3 PNP standard bearers whose signs the corporation had to stop removing after an injunction by the Supreme Court as it examines the wider issue that led to them being taken down. On Tuesday, Horton again locked horns with the local authority, which accused him of placing his signs in revenue-generated locations without paying the required fee. We didn't breach anything. Our signs were never on the Revenue Board. In the court's document, it said Revenue Board, and now they are changing it to what they call a revenue area. They keep moving the goalposts every time to victimize my efforts, he told reporters on Wednesday. In order to just squash it for the particular location, because we want the poster there, Milo decided that instead of going through the back and forth every day, putting it up and then taking it down, he just paid them the money for now until we receive it out of the court, Horton added. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.